Workspaces. Scripting a workspace is a way of double clicking on one link and having it do several things for you. Okay, it opened my remote desktop for me. It opened my task list, my working days Excel file, my reporting folder, and my temporary internet file folder, because this is a very hard folder to get to, but a lot of things save there by default. And that was done by clicking on this one little link here. And that was all done with this folder. So when I open this folder, you can see that basically in the folder there is a link to everything that I wanted opened and this little file, this little BAT file. A BAT file is really just a fancy text file that you can actually use WordPad to create. So we're going to close out of this and we're going to create our own script from scratch. So if you'll just go and collect all of the shortcuts to the things that you want opened on your desktop. Okay, so I'm going to use, I want it to open my Common Thorn. I want it to open my remote desktop. I want it to open this resources homepage. I want it to open my Workday file, so I'm going to send to create a shortcut. So basically, anything that you want opened, you can create a shortcut to and then put it on your desktop, and we'll create a folder for it. Okay, so now I'm going to right click and say new folder. We're going to call this script. And we're going to call it scripting. I'm going to open it. And we're going to drag all of our links in there. So this actually wasn't a link, so I'm going to put this back here. And I'm going to say file, send to desktop, create shortcut. And there it is. So I'm going to pull it in here. And now I'm going to say start, run, WordPad. And this is a really long name, shortcut to working days. So I'm going to rename this working days. No spaces, please. I'm going to rename this Common Thorn. I'm going to rename this remote desktop. And I'm going to rename this resources. So now go over to your text file in WordPad, and I want you to just type start, working day, start, Common Thorn, start, resources, start, remote desktop. Now it has to be perfect. Like I should have put working days, but I didn't, so it has to be the same. Working day, Common Thorn, resources is the same, and remote desktop. You notice that I changed the order of these, and that's because the remote desktop takes extra resources to open, so it's better to do that last. So now I'm going to say File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Scripting BAT. And I'm going to put it in my scripting folder. So now I'm going to close this, and I want to just double check it. Okay, so I don't like the way it added some characters, so I'm going to go over and I'm going to go Start, Working Day, Start, Common Thorn, Start, Resources, Start, Remote Desktop. Now I'm going to save it again. And now I'm going to double check it again. Make sure it's not HTML. It's not. All those characters were HTML. So now I'm going to send to desktop, create a shortcut. So now I've got a shortcut to my scripting, and it's right there. And are you ready to check it? Let's see if it worked. Scripting. And it did everything we asked it to do. It opened our remote desktop. It opened our resources homepage. It opened our L drive, Common Thorn, and it also opened our Working Days file. I'm sure in no time you're going to be scripting all kinds of workspaces.